Welcome, this is Walker Tea Review, and I'm Jason Walker. Now, I know that there are several of you out there who are regular fans who are also fellow tea bloggers. I would invite you to join the group called Association of Tea Bloggers, and you'll find a logo and a link to that group organization, and it's on the left side of my website. If you'll scroll down, you'll find a big ATB, and the ATB is an organization that's there designed to kind of support tea bloggers and the tea blogging endeavors, so that we can, we all have more consistent information, that we can find each other, to connect, to pick each other's brains as far as areas of expertise on tea culture and teas in general. So if you are not a tea blogger, you have come to the right place as well, because we are looking at teas. We're learning to taste teas, and perhaps one day you want to make a blog of your own or some kind of record, so that you can collect that information about what teas really were, a heavenly moment for you. Which teas carried you into an ecstasy, a tea-gasm. We'll find those teas together, hopefully. One of those teas could be today's Harney's black tea, called HarneyPanyangCongou, and we're going to be starting this one up. We have a tea taster's cup. We have our teaspoon, kettle with water that has been brought to a warm, full boil, or very close to a boil. I try not to boil it too much. There's lots of debates going back and forth as to whether that extracts some of the oxygen level out and gives you flatter tea. I'm not going to get into that, but we're just going to say careful with how you boil your tea. To get this started, if you want to taste and make notes of your own, you'll want to first go up to the top of this post. Just above this video screen, you'll see a link for the How to Taste page, and that will give you the beginnings of how to make your notes. If you will need to make notes while you're doing a tasting, you want to pause briefly, not too long. And again, if you're going to talk about your dry leaf, your wet leaf, and your liquor, we're covering you'll see this is a pretty hefty teaspoon full, and this is about a 5-6 ounce tea taster's cup. And when you add that teaspoon, you've coated the bottom of the cup there. So set this aside for just a few moments. We'll add our water and get this starting to steep, so that we can look at the tea a little bit more and get more information about that. It also gives us some time to start making our notes. Now, when we pour our tea, we're pouring up to about 1/4 of an inch, or half an inch. Half an inch would be too much, really. 1/4 of an inch or so from the bottom of the pouring area here. Lid that, set it to the side, get our water out of the way, and now we can talk a little bit more about this tea before we go on. Again, this is Harney's Panyangcongou. Congou is a Fujianese, Cantonese, somewhere in there, pronunciation of Kung Fu, Gong Fu, meaning requires a master's level of skill. There's a bit of mastery in making this tea. This tea goes, 4 ounces are available for $7, but you can get a special package of Walker Tea Review teas, which this tea is included, along with some others. And you may want to look at the link for that and pick up a pack, get those teas, watch the videos, and make your own notes as you do so. This tea is from Fujian. It's labeled as a blend. A blend is an interesting word to use, especially in China, because what you have in China is different from a single estate in India, where one estate is large enough to be able to harvest and process that one estate's teas and label those or process those. What often happens in China is you have a group of small growers within the area, say the traditional origin area, who then harvest their teas, sell them to a processing plant, and those processing plants we'll most likely have to combine teas from different growers to create the volume that's needed for sale. So in that sense, I would understand that this one would be a blend. The other way that we see this as a blend is that we have some golden tips in here, and we have some dark colored leaves as well. Let's talk about our aromas though before we go too far. I'm getting a kind of a golden sweet raisin type aspect. That's one of the first things that really comes off. It does have a sweet note. It does. It's got that tannin smell as well that's kind of associated with grapes, with some black teas. So those are present. Let's go ahead and get out our leaves as well and just take a quick moment. I'm going to leave these in the spoon because otherwise they'll just stick all over your hand. But again, as we said, we're seeing parts of leaves. You're getting some bistre color. You're getting some golden tips in there, and you can even see the fuzz on those golden tips is still there. I got a sweetness that's also kind of associated with pipe tobacco, which is quite pleasant as well. So we've got some kind of pipe tobacco slash raisin sweetness in there. We've got some golden tips as well that will give us a variety of color or a variety of tastes and aromas as well. Now we're going to move on and talk about our wet leaf. To do that, of course, we're going to give our pour. Now with a steeping cup like this one from Adagio, some of them have a hole in the opening that allows the air to come in as you pour. Some of them do not. If it does not, no problem. You just want to stick your thumbnail between the lid and the rim of the cup so that you create an opening. You also want to put your finger here on the lid, and you want to be able to position so that you can pour rather quickly. Always handy to have a tea towel as well, something to pick up those spills. I try to, with my equipment here, we could get more complex, but I tried to do what you would most likely have, or what is easy for everyone to have around the house handy. Let me shake out a few more drops, because what we're going to do now with a tea taster's cup like this, professional taster's cup, the way that you're going to get the leaves out is you're going to be able to turn it upside down, give it a few shakes. You may have to give it pretty handy. Be careful because there will be hot drops that drip out as well as you do so. But the ultimate goal is to be able, and this is going to be too fine so it's not going to work, just get out our spoon, solve this, get a spoon of this out, place it here on your lid. But you're already getting some nice strong aromas. Let's talk about our aromas before they dissipate too much. Again, with your wet leaf, you're talking about aromas, you're talking about any shape or color change due to the steeping process. But nice, pleasant aromas already. You're getting a sweetness that is like, I'm going to associate this with like a watermelon type sweetness. A bit of a raisin sweetness to it. And the other note is a toasted kind of note. It evokes, so when you get the raisin and the toasted, this is almost very similar to a Raisin Bran. I mean, you get that toasted flake, you get the raisin sweetness in there. If you had heated that up as a warm cereal, there'd be very strong similarities to what we have here. Now, as far as shapes and colors, our shapes have not changed significantly. They may have been dried and curled a little bit, but because these are very small fine pieces or finer pieces, they've just kind of flattened out. Our colors have gotten more consistent in that they are all fairly uniformly dark brown at this point. Okay. Previous note, I did get kind of a light cinnamon aspect from the wet leaf as well. Now, Moving on, we also want to talk about, of course, our liquor. And with our liquor, we're going to be making notes. Try not to pause too long if you do so. Make notes of your body, the aromas, the aftertaste, any notes about astringency that you may want to have in there as well. Give a swirl around. Give it a smell. Already getting a toasty sweetness just from the aromas already. Now, one of the things that you'll immediately notice is that it's light on the briskness aspect. It's got this heaviness to the body to it. Not heavy, and it tends to be that kind of. Still, it comes back to the kind of bran flakes type aspect with a bit of sweetness in it. So it'd be like sugar-coated bran flakes, but it'd be more, well, I take that back, honey-coated bran flakes. So it's got the sweetness to it. It's got a toasted note to it. It's got some weight to it. But at the same time, again, the raisin sweetness to it. At the same time, it's not as overly astringent, especially compared to like a Assam black tea. The aftertaste is fairly consistent. If anything, it dissipates, the bran flake taste dissipates and leaves you with that honey, like you ate the bite of cereal that had the raisin bran, you chewed up the flakes, and the last little thing you bit down on and tasted was a raisin before you swallowed. That's the kind of texture, the taste that you're getting. This tea reminds me of breakfast. What else? Yeah, low on the briskness, sustained aftertaste, light body. So we give this tea a 90. This was HarneyPanyangCongou, and we give it a 90. We could have explored, looked for, perhaps teased out a little bit more of a complexity of the aroma, and being able to get fairly consistent characteristics in this. So again, this was a tea to start with in the morning. Explore that way. And again, come back, join us for this tea tasting and future tea tastings on Walker Tea Review.